This is what matters the most, and the focus of the franchise.
Put it out of focus.
Is out of focus. We have some extreme unfocus. 16 for 30. Caleb Williams today, 120 passing yards. 0 touchdowns. Somehow this guy has not turned the ball over, I feel like, in a month and a half or whatever it's been.
The one silver lining,
since
I guess.
London? I don't think he has a turnover since London. The bad throw that was intended for DJ Moore. That's the one thing. But 9 sacks. Jay Cutler once got sacked 9 times. I remember in was that 10 times? 9.
San Francisco.
San Francisco. There was the game in New York too against the Giants.
Yep.
And I saw in the comments early on, is this as bad or worse than the Justin Fields game in Cleveland?
It's worse.
It's worse.
Yeah, but that's what this is. I mean, this is a quarterback who's not playing well, an offense coordinator that's giving him 0 answers. The game plans don't make sense. There's obvious chemistry issues. There's obvious body language issues. Nothing seems collaborative. There's 700 coaches on the sidelines. I don't know what else to say. It's other than this really shouldn't be that hard, to be honest with you. Like these NFL franchises like it to make it hard. It's this simple. Okay, it's this simple. You're ruining Caleb Williams. Make a change. There's 8 games left in the season. You can't let it keep going down this road.
What do we talk about in the pregame? Let's keep it simple, stupid. Let's run the football. Let's work play action off it. Let's get the rhythm and timing throws, the short and intermediate throws. What happened to that? Too many. He's holding the ball too long. Don't get me wrong, right? There was times where he took, out of those 9 sacks, he probably took 4 or 5 of them just from holding the ball too long. But he's thinking too much, and the coaches have to simplify things. They have to do a better job of giving him a limited playbook right now. Yep. Because right now, what we saw in the Jacksonville game and what we're seeing now is complete regression. In that Jacksonville game, he looked very confident. The Rams game, he looked very confident. He does not look that right now. And you have this generational quarterback that you're going to ruin like you potentially did to other quarterbacks. That's my fear. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but the way it's going doesn't look good. And the only way to change that is change how you've done things. You never fired somebody during the season. Do it right now. If you know, they know right now Eberflus is not their guy. Fire him right now.
So if you go back to training camp, let me just underline this. And we were watching 7-on-7s, and I said it at the time, not an alarming that he's not going to be good, but just what was happening. 7-on-7, there's no rush. Nothing's happening. He's just got to get the ball out to someone who's open. And he was holding the ball and running out of bounds. And it was off. And it's like, it's June. This will get better. But we are seeing it on the field right now. He's not clear on where he's going with the football, and so he ends up patting it 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, then ducking in, trying to take as little of a hit as possible. And so just rewinding back, it's like, look, everything's got to be on the table. No 2 quarterbacks are the same. He might not be ready to play right now. So throwing him out there when he's completely skittish is not going to happen. Bryce is not going to help him. Bryce Young got a victory today, and it was celebrating the locker room. Like, it can turn quickly, but you got to do best by the quarterback and deal with where he's at.
So Bryce Young, look at how his rookie year turned out last year. It's tough,
right? Horrible.
You could argue that you killed his confidence at some point. And I would hate for them to do that with Caleb Williams. So right now, if you don't have the right play calling, you don't have the right system, sit him right now. And as weird as that sounds, people say, no, we need him to play through this. You want him to play through this chaos?
You could, and you could cite a few different reasons: forming bad habits, the O-line being depleted. But at this point, that route is too late.
That's ridiculous.
And
I gotta be honest with you. You got all these coaches. None of them can figure out how to get Caleb freaking Williams to play well. That's ridiculous. But you know what? You got DJ Moore. You got Keenan Allen. You got by the way, let's take Caleb out of this. If Roma Dunze was the only first-round pick they had made this year, we'd be sitting here talking about how they're not getting any use out of Roma Dunze, a top 10 pick.
Even though he's their leading receiver, by the way.
It's unbelievable. You got all these coaches. Somebody on that staff, and I guarantee you I guarantee you, because I know how this works. Corey, you know how this works.
Yep.
They're all they go home to their wives. They go home to their buddies. They all say, I would do this differently. I would do this differently. I would do this. I guarantee you that's happening on this coaching staff. So give one of those people that has the balls to do something differently the chance to do something differently, because what they're doing right now isn't working. It can't just be bench the quarterback. That's ridiculous.
And I agree. I don't think they should bench him at all. But I also think it's low-hanging fruit to just – Shane Waldron has not been perfect. He hasn't been good. There's been a lot of mistakes that he's made. But let's not duck giving Caleb Williams responsibility for the regression in the last 3 games. They set him up in the Rams, Panthers, and Jaguars game where he was playing patient football. He was taking what the defense gives him. And since then, since the Washington game, he took the bye week. And all he did during the bye week was get way too dialed up for a game against Jaden Daniels in his hometown. And since then, he's not taking what the defense gives him. Shane Waldron's win the All-22 just like last week against Arizona. We were sitting here doing a post-game show saying, what's going on here? Well, when you look at the All-22, there are throws available to him that he is passing up. So he has to take the throws that he is passing up. And then more importantly, he has to get his footwork right. His footwork is all over the place when he's trying to make a throw. I believe he can make any throw on the football field. I'm not worried about his long-term success. What he needs to do is get his footwork straight and stick to the fundamentals and get back to playing basic to work himself up to the star that he can potentially be if he meets that potential.
Nobody's arguing that. Everybody's in agreement that everything you just said is true. This does not need to be an either-or thing. It can't be about what's happened in the past. It needs to be starting right now. How do you fix all those things? And I can tell you with 100% certainty, to fix all those things that you correctly said are problems with Caleb, you cannot keep the status quo. So this isn't about blaming the coaches versus blaming Caleb. It's that how do you fix all those things you just said, his accuracy, his footwork, seeing the open guys. You need to reset. You need to reset this whole thing. You cannot go into another game against the Packers where I guarantee you're going to be trailing. And you say what Woot said correctly before the game, run the ball, right? Keep it simple. All that stuff sounds good Monday through Saturday. And then the game starts and you're down 14-0 to the Packers, which they will be in the first quarter next week. And then they're going to throw the ball and they're going to keep ruining Caleb. So you have to do something differently so that you can start with a lead against Green Bay. So you can use the defense that you have, which is still pretty talented. Keeping status quo with the coaching staff, who are the ones that game plan, who put the things together, you cannot keep it the same.
Well, let's look at just the way they started the game today. First play of the game, hand up, DeAndre Swift over the left tackle, left guard, ran for 3 yards. All right, commit to the run. Let's get it going. Next play action, drop back, first sack of the day. Down you go. Next play, incomplete, off the hands of Roma Dunze, not on target, didn't look good, 3 and out. You couldn't even run the ball 2 plays in a row to start the game against the New England Patriots, where you couldn't be, oh no, we're going to be in a shootout with Drake May and the Pats. No, you weren't. You just put the ball on the ground and let's see what happens. And if you know what, if you picked up 3 on first down, maybe you pick up 3 on second down, and now it's 3rd and 4.
Play action on second down of the first series that you're referring to. He had DeAndre Swift open in the flat. That's a simple throw. That's simple offense. And he didn't take it. And in order to get into a rhythm and build momentum as an offense, you've got to be able to take those. When they ran that play action rollout to Roma Dunze, it's a 2-level read. You have Roma Dunze rolling out in the flat. You have Cole Kmet open on a break in the corner. He takes the easy throw to Roma Dunze. Good. Take those throws. Take what the defense gives you. Build up to the more challenging throws. And to me, he's just too dialed up to try to do everything in one play. And it is on the coaches to try to pull him back, but it is a two-way street. Oh, yeah. It is a two-way street. So I just, to me, it's just one of those things where I just need that to be acknowledged.
Let me be clear. I'm not saying that the guy is anywhere close to playing well, that he doesn't need to be a ton better. I also would say this just before we get Briggs and Brown in here. If there's one thing you can, at least as a Bears fan, I think you can bet on right now, Caleb is going to continue to believe in himself. Caleb, he will use whatever mental mind tricks and everything he has worked on to this point to get himself through this. He 100% believes he's going to be great, and that I don't see that changing despite the up and down right now.
We all city like the mayor.